we know what this is all about. It's all about the image, the optics, and his father's words, his actions, and basically the powers that be trying to give him a little check-in. So let me make it real simple. There's the reason, there's the setup, there's the example. Reason. His father is a Hall of Fame, brash, confident, shoulder straight black man who basically told the world that I'm going to dictate the way the Manning family did where my son goes. And in this public media thing, when you talk, people listen. So I'm sure owners felt like this guy is going to be a headache because he's Deion Sanders. He's going to try to dictate things. Also, there was rumors about Deion made it come to coach for the place eventually if his son gets there and doesn't get off on the right foot. So the Deion Sanders factor was a big part of this. In addition, Shadeur was a nil athlete, name, image, and likeness. He is getting millions of dollars off the field, Gatorade commercials. So he's already making big money. And when he walked into the room, there was the accusation that he was arrogant, that he kind of acted like he had gotten there already, and he wasn't humble to the powers that be. Now, when I say the setup, I'm speaking of things that are said prematurely before the draft to kind of throw dirt on the person's name or expose weaknesses. And one of the main things they were saying was anonymously, you had coordinators and people saying that, oh, this guy came in arrogant, he came in entitled, I didn't like his attitude, his body language, etc. That may have hurt him too in the draft. You a kid coming in here with $6 million in your bank account, and some offensive coordinator makes a couple $100,000 a year. He's gonna be jealous, and he's gonna look at that kid and say, you know what? Maybe that kid doesn't have the humble, work hard ethic, which he does, but they're gonna use that against you. And this should be a message to men, especially black men, navigating within the corporate world. You can't come in with all this gravitas and bravado. You have to know when and where to be able to expose your true self. If you want to do that old antics on a football field, that's one thing. But when you go into a room, you got to be more buttoned up. And I think he may have handled himself more in a I've already made it here. And last but not least was the example. That's probably the biggest part. We have entered a new age now where the college athlete is making millions in many cases before they even make it to the NFL, the best ones. So they're coming into the NFL on day one. They're coming to the draft with $5 million in their bank account. And another thing I'll tell you, what makes Deion's son Shadeur different is, unlike a lot of these boys who are coming from impoverished situations, he don't got to buy his mama a house. He don't got to take care of the whole family. Deion's family is well taken care of. So this kid doesn't have to have that kind of humble attitude, but he should. And I think that was a detriment. But I think him going to the Browns was probably the best situation next to the Steelers. Both teams don't have a quarterback. And, or should I say, they don't have a starting quarterback. And I think he's going to have the opportunity to start and shine. And I hope for the best for him. But it's a lesson to be learned. When you're walking into certain rooms, there still is a power structure. And the powers that be, ever since the beginning of time, will clip your wings right on the spot if you think you're bigger than the program. So a lot is needs to be learned from this. I wish him all the luck, and I think he's going to be fine. But salute to Shadeur, salute to Deion for being a great father. But sometimes you can open your mouth and mess with your blessing. And I think him talking about, I'm going to dictate where my son goes, pissed off these owners, and they decided to show him who's really in charge. And it's unfortunate. But I think the kid's got a bright future, so we'll see.